We wanted to give the sense of the arc of a life.
Something that transcends words.
A much greater depth of feeling.
We're in Venice.
A kind of urgency.
Open the door for me to be playful.
To experience the marriage that these two gentlemen have created in this piece can be like a life-changing experience.
There is a timelessness that comes through in this final poem. There's this sense of suddenly the music is not just on the earth, feet planted on the ground, but it's starting to leave the earth. It's moving into a timelessness. You also get a sense of the cycle of life. I even bring back just a hint of the music, that playful music, all the way back to that little boy, that whole sense of this is not really an end, but it's a circle. With a poem like this, and in a moment like this at the end, one of the things I try to do is stay out of the way. You can do too much. I just wanted to let it sort of happen and just sort of not try to impose too much of my own self, my own prejudices into the picture, and just sort of so on the one hand stay out of the way. I even negotiated with David to let some of the poem get out of the way. This was the longest of the 4 poems, and I wanted him to distill this down. I was trying to get it right to the point, to the message, to the heart, on the sleeve at this point. And so we worked quite a while on discussing how we could distill even the poem down and get right to it. It's a distillation process that has to happen here. A more tangible way that I stayed out of the way is simply just orchestrate less. There are fewer instruments. There are fewer notes per square inch. If you look at the page, the orchestra is gradually sort of saying goodbye. There's more a cappella singing in this last movement. There are more solos. So the whole thing is sort of moving towards this spiritual feeling, with feelings of eternity, this spiritual quality with a look to eternity.
What the night prepares, day gives. This cool green leaf to the light, shading the darker embers as the limbs as they descend the narrow trunks of pine. So it's just this very simple homophonic, that is, everyone moving at the same time in the chorus, setting of this very beautiful and simple preparation. What the night prepares, day gives. And so you have that sense of cycle again now, because the whole thing, not only have we gone through a person's life from youth to wisdom, but we've also gone from the morning in that first movement to night in the second movement and the black gondola. Now we're back again. What the night prepares, day gives. There's another circle there. And so I said it with this very simple homophonic kind of texture, a cappella chorus, just nothing in the orchestra. The orchestra responds to it every now and then, but for the most part, the chorus has their moment here.
In listening to Frank's explanation of the last movement, it's the explanation I would have expected him to give, and that it almost leaves you suspended after all of the hectic color of the black gondola just before it. It opens, first of all, you suddenly feel like you're somewhere related to a Wagnerian opera with this offstage horn going. I mean, it's just absolutely so beautiful that takes you out of this darkness of the black gondola, and that transitions you into this gorgeous music of the choir that is so simple. I mean, the last movement is the easiest of Frank's movements, and when it comes to difficulty. And so what he just said, he wanted to get out of the way of the poetry, is exactly what he did. And it's something that you just can, since since it's very easy to create, it's something you can immediately go into a different plane for the singers. When we first read through the piece last week, they immediately have an emotional connection with this very simple and very beautiful music.
The redemption that I think of, especially in this final movement, has to be set against a landscape. And the landscape of the shore that's there seems to me important because we live on this earth, we live on land, and yet the shore that presents itself is not just the shore of the water that begins, but at the point of the fourth movement, the speaker's also looking upward and beyond into the stars, and how those stars are reflected in that water. And so at every shore, we are at a juncture. We're at a place where something ends and something else begins. And I would say in no small way, we each, when we come to these different shores and junctures, we each make choices as to how we're going to encounter whatever is next.
To experience the marriage that these two gentlemen have created in this piece can be like a life-changing experience. I mean, if you are having trouble in your life right now, when you watch the circle of this young man's life come and then see the redemption in the end, it makes you look at life in such a positive way. And that's what I would like to see come out of the piece, is that it is that positive end result that comes through the marriage of the words and the music.
I'm always leery of an audience being made to listen to a piece with my ears, a piece of mine with my ears. I like to sort of remove myself and let them form their own opinions and have their own experiences through the prism of their own lives. I guess if there is one thing, I guess it's that, I guess my hope is that it leave them with the kind of thing I hope any piece does, which is something that transcends words. It takes us to a place that words alone can't touch, that music alone can't touch, and yet the two together combine and transcend themselves. And it takes us to that magic place that's only achievable through music. And so I just hope that happens to them. And then there's a gratitude at the end that certainly that I will feel, just this gratitude that we get to do this all together. We get to, have the words and the music and the interpretation all come together for an audience of our fellow human beings, and just experience that sort of that beautiful sense of community and transcendence.
I'll be fascinated to watch the audience response, because I think what Frank has constructed is a deeply powerful and emotional journey. And it seems to me one of the things that we ask for in art, and one of the things we find in the poetry, the music, the paintings we love, is that once we've experienced them, we're not the same. In whatever way, the combination of elements of that work and we being there somehow changes our chemistry, that we no longer see the world, hear the world, or experience ourselves and those even we love in quite the same way. Sometimes we can't put our finger on it. Sometimes we don't even know. When we have this experience, we know that we carry with us something that wasn't ours beforehand.